An allegory is a story that has double meaning. Its allegory is a whole world of symbols. It has two meanings, the inner meaning and the outer meaning. One is the outer meaning, a clear meaning, a vivid meaning, and the other meaning in allegory is its inner meaning. So both the meanings, the outer and the inner meanings, they are meant by the people. So some people may understand the inner meaning while others may not. And the writer actually, in some places, if writers can state their point of view very clearly, so then they go into the shade of allegory. So they describe the things in a different way. So it has a literal meaning, but it also has, the story also has an allegoric meaning then. And another literary device is alliteration, is frequently used in poetry. So alliteration means that the beginning of the sounds, the beginning of the words are alike. The sounds in the beginning of the words, when the sounds in the beginning of the words are alike, so is then we say that there is alliteration in these words. Like a prominent example for it will be Athena and Apollo. So here, Athena and Apollo, in the beginning of these two words, in Athena and Apollo, the sound A has come. So this A, Athena, Apollo, this, because of this repeating sound in these words, we say that there's alliteration in these words. And like Nate never knows, so in this example, the sound N has repeated. So there's alliteration of people who pen poetry. So alliteration actually adds beauty to poetry or to prose or to another type of writing. So it adds beauty. Assonance is similar like alliteration, but the difference is that alliteration occurs in the beginning, but assonance occurs in the middle of the words. The word tune and June, they are rhymes, but food and tune, they are assonance. Food, tune. In the middle of these two words, the sound is same. Tune, food. So then we say that these two words are assonance, and there's assonance in these two words. So when the middles of the words are same, then we say that there is assonance in these words. And denotation and connotation, there are two types of meaning. If a word is used, it will be used for its literal meaning, its dictionary meaning, or it will be used for another meaning which is hidden or which is not very clear or which is underneath the literal meaning. So if a word is used for its literal meaning, then we say that it's denotation. And if a word is used for is not if a word is not used for its literal meaning, it's used for another meaning which is implied or which is hidden, which is not very clear. So then we say that here is connotation, or the word has connotative meaning. And its example will be the word snake. Uh, if we actually see a snake and we say that I saw a snake, then here we mean actually the animal, the reptile. So a poisonous reptile, and we use it in its right literal meaning. So it's denotation. But if we use the word connotatively, then for example, that man is a snake or he's a snake. So it doesn't mean that he is actually a snake. It means that he's very dangerous or he's evil. So when a word is used for its literal meaning, we say that it's connotation, or it has connotative meaning. Or if it's not used for its actual meaning, it's used for another meaning, then we say that it's connotation. Diction is another literary term. Diction refers to both the choice and order of words. It has typically been split into vocabulary in syntax. So if a writer use difficult words, old-fashioned words, or difficult syntax, then we say that the diction of the writer is tough or hard. So diction means the choice of words or the order of the words. So diction may be simple or complex. It depends on the writer. If he use old-fashioned words, difficult words, we say then we will say that it's complex diction. But if the words are simple, then we will say that it's simple. Its diction is simple. Another thing related to literature is image. So image is something which we perceive in our minds after reading or listening uh, a story or an excerpt or something like that. So the picture that comes to our mind when we read something, when we listen something, that's the image. And then we say that there is imagery in the writing. There's imagery in the story or imagery in the speech. So when a picture comes to our mind after reading or after listening to something, that then we say that there's imagery in this. Irony is another literary term, and irony is a figure of speech, and it refers to difference between the way something appears and what is actually true. Or part of what makes poetry interesting is its indirectness, its refusal to state something simply as the way it is. So in poetry, irony is necessary, and it's frequently used in poetry. So in irony allows us to say something but to mean something else, whether we are being sarcastic or exaggerating or understanding. So if there is a person who is dull and he comes and we say, look, the intelligent guy is coming. So here in this statement is irony, and that's because the listener because we doesn't mean what we say. Here we say the intelligent guy is coming, but actually we mean that he's not intelligent. So that's the irony. We say something else but we mean something else. Metaphor is another literary device, and it's used when we state things, we compare things, but we don't use the words like in as. We directly describe things in metaphors. We say, for example, if I say my friend is a lion, this is a metaphor. I describe my friend as a lion. It's because of a quality, and that quality is bravery. Lion is brave, and my friend is brave. So, because of that quality, I describe my friends as a lion. So, in metaphor, the difference between simile and metaphor is that in simile, the words like and as are used. If it's a simile, then I will say my friend is like a lion. Here I will use like. But if it's metaphor, then I will not use like. I will say my friend is a lion. So if we say that something is something else, then that direct description, then we will say that here metaphor is used. Rhyme means rhyme is it's very important in poetry, and it's much used in poetry, and poetry will be dead, almost dead, if there's no rhyme. So what's rhyme? So if two words sound alike in the end, then that's rhyme. If two words sound alike, then that's rhyme. So the vowel sound of two words is the same, but the initial consonant sound is different. So if the initial sounds are same, then it will not be rhyme. It will be alliteration that we discussed earlier. But if the indent sounds of the words are alike, then it will be a rhyme. And a simple example is beer and care, beer care, or giving and moving. So these words are same in the end. So if the words are same in the end, then we call those words rhyme words. So rhyme will occur if the sounds of the words are same in the end. And symbol is another literary term. So symbols are used for things. For example, if I say that his life is a rose, it will be a metaphor. Or if I say my friend is a lion, it will be a metaphor. But if I say lion, the lion was roaring, the lion was in the battlefield, and then actually mean my friend, not the animal, then this is a symbol. If I say the lion is in the battlefield, and I actually mean here by the word lion, my friend, and not the animal with a long tail. So here I will be using symbol. So symbol uh, is used for things. Another example will be his life was an oak tree. Uh, uh, so that's metaphor. But if I say that the oak tree is shedding the leaves, and I mean here from the oak tree his life, so then that will be a symbol. Another literary term is tone. So tone of a poem is roughly equivalent to the mood it creates in the reader. If you read a poem and it creates a mood in you, so if that mood is happy, then we say that the tone of the poem is happy. And if that mood, the mood that it creates is sad, then we say that the tone of the poem is sad.